Let's tell you that a visibly miffed President Muhammadu Buhari blasted state governors, accusing them of stealing local government funds. An enraged number one citizen told his audience at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPSS, at the presidential Villa Abuja yesterday, let me quote him, "It beats anyone's imagination how some governors collected money on behalf of the council areas in their states only to remit just one half of such allocation to the council chairman, who would further deplete the remittance by pilfering it," end quote. Now, need I say more? But first, let's share the reaction of Rivers State Governor Wike concerning this. Sit back, please.
I want to challenge Mr. President. Mr. President, you're a leader, and we believe as leaders, you must come out and tell Nigerians who are those committing this offense. You said the governors are taking local government funds. I want to say, in the name of Almighty God, I've never touched local government fund one day. I have never, and I have no reason to do that. So, Mr. President, tell us who are those people. You know them, tell us. It is not good to say what we call class defamation. You say governors. Please, I'm not one of those governors. I'm not. So, Mr. President, please spare me. Tell Nigerians that the integrity governors are not part of them. We have integrity. We're not part of them. And do us a favor to announce all those states that are taking local government money. I have never, since 2015 till now, and I have no reason, and I will not have any reason.
Jide, at a time like this, you expect things like this.
It's
going
on for so long.
Yeah.
The old man was frustrated in coming out to say this. Some time ago, he also looked at governors. He said, I wonder how these governors go to bed, knowing that they are owing people salaries for upwards of 6 months, 7 months. So the president said he was wondering how they even managed to go to bed, because it should nettle you sufficiently that your subjects, you are unable to pay their salary. It should withdraw your own sleep. So the president is right. Long after this president is gone, some of these issues that he tried on his own to solve, even coming up with the executive order to try to solve this problem, people will remember the role that he played. You can abuse you all you want. A lot of the people abusing him are not half as good as he is. But he's someone who cares about the poor people. And he does not like to see poor people suffer. He may not have solved all the problems that he said he would solve.
Yeah.
But he tried to solve this problem. But governors using the state assemblies that they have firmly in their pockets have ensured that we do not have autonomy for local councils.
Yeah.
We are in the age in which a governor will sit somewhere and decide who will be speaker in the state. And the three organs of government are supposed to be independent of each other.
Yeah.
But it's the governors who are choosing speakers.
Even chief judges.
It's governors who are choosing speakers. I know the NJC has a role in chief judge picking. If governors could choose chief judges at will, Amechi will have succeeded in Rivers. And for about a year, the judiciary was locked up because he didn't have his way. Now, the point that I'm making, governors need the funds from the councils. They came up with this idea of joint accounts. They strip councils.
You think the joint account gambit was a trap?
It's more than a trap.
Okay.
It's more than a trap. Because there was a particular chairman, I won't mention where he is. Once he got his own allocation for the month, he burst into tears. That he's looking at me, I know, is what he knows that I know.
He knows that you know.
Yes.
That he
He
knows.
burst into tears. This same issue, even in Kwara, a local government chairman stood up to Bukola Saraki over this matter. He got the chairman suspended. The chairman went to court. That's from the Gbomino area.
Yeah.
The chairman went to court, defeated him in court. But he made sure, he hung on until he left office. He made sure that that chairman didn't get back to office.
Oh,
this is what governors do in our country. When we're talking about the need for restructuring, this is part of what we need to see. That governors will stay in their lane. You know, let the councils run at their own pace.
Independently of state government.
Yes, if some governors can allow it to happen, because I know that Wike is boasting about what he does. El-Rufai too has boasted before that he will never touch the funds of the councils. But some governors can boast. So as the president was saying that, I know that their conscience was being troubled as the president was speaking. And how many of them can bang the lantern the way Wike was banging it to say, I've never touched? How many of them can do that? If they give them the holy book to swear with, they won't be able to swear.
Emeka,
and I know even after this program, one or two of them will call me to say, Jide, why are you dabbling into this? I'm telling you, because this is not the first time we discussed this, and there was a pushback.
Yeah.
Maybe now that I'm saying it,
I remember that my state governor was the first to go to court when he reeled out that executive order, meaning to let local government council be independent of their...
They went to court, and I think they won in court.
Yeah.
But what does the Constitution say? Let's just follow the Constitution.
Emeka, at what point did we drop the ball, and who dropped it?
Well, you know, local government administration has been a major issue since independence. Even during the military, there were attempts at reforming the local government. But unfortunately, going to the Fourth Republic, the Constitution just basically handed the local governments to the states. Now we need that clear separation. But the governors are afraid that if the council stand on their own, that means they have lost the
control.
Control. They will just be, well, I can't just imagine, but it's going to be, it's not something to just think about.
Like, if you are a popular team captain, you shouldn't be afraid of the players.
That is where the problem comes in. If they were managing the councils well, they were not stealing the funds of the local government funds, then you could just probably say that, okay, states should continue to control local government. But what you find is that the states are the state governors are the ones destroying the local government. So all they do is just load the local governments with all kinds of workers, both duly employed and unemployed. From traditional rulers, from politicians and all that. Some of these people you see on the streets with spikes, harassing motorists, harassing drivers of commercial vehicles and all that. There was one that I ran into one time, and he said, we don't get salary. Is this work we do? That it is from it. We get that. Wow. You know, it's from this work. No, the person actually that called me was in Ogun State. He told me, he said, we are recommended by traditional rulers and politicians. That is where we make money.
Maybe the man is watching you.
Oh, well, of course, that's his business. But the thing is this, the local government should not run that way. I said it. There was a time I challenged some local government workers in a market. They were going about collecting shop fees. And I saw one of them, the supervisor. She was carrying money, cash, this way. She was carrying cash this way. And I said, What kind of primitive behavior is this? Is it that you cannot tell these people to go and pay it? They said, forget that story. Pay into which account? When I had to make a payment for something, they gave me a personal account. That, when this money for this particular charge comes, then we now know how to make proper record and remit. So when the governors take their own, even at the local governments, they're also doing their own.
Okay. Jide, are you saying that the electors, the governed, don't have a part to play here in fixing correcting the imbalance?
As long as this joint accounting
is in place.
Yes. If they receive their money
directly,
like a first line charge, directly from the Accountant General of the Federation, this whole thing is gone. This whole thing won't happen again.
But won't the governors hijack them? Even if they get it, won't they?
No, you see, because I remember at that time when the president was pushing for this executive order thing, it was one of the stipulations was that their funds should go directly to them, same as the funds of the judiciary go directly to the heads of the judiciary, which is the chief judge of the state. That way, no one can have access to their funds. But what do we have? The kind of system that we have in place, you had even the CJN complaining that up till now, we do not have independence.
That's it.
Judges have to go and beg governors. A governor will keep a judge waiting at his lobby for hours just for them to have access to funds that they need to fix air conditioners in some place, to renovate the judicial complex. Meanwhile, the funds should actually have been going directly to them.
Judicial Service Commission.
Yes. So,
do you know,
they have to beg governors.
Listening to you makes me feel I'm watching a poorly produced horror film.
No, to say a horror film doesn't have to be poorly produced. A horror film is a horror film.
Horrifying.
It's not something that will smell like roses to you.
Yeah.
It's something that will horrify you. To the point of probably just running to hide under your bed.
So it's a well-produced horror film.
Yes, a well-produced horror film. That's what you are watching. It is that bad.
Oh, boy.
It is that bad. It is that bad. The president tried to solve this problem. But I remember that the governors at that time, led by Kaudi Fahimi and my friend in Sokoto State, Tambua, they didn't like it. They even sought audience with the president to say, why now? Why are you coming up with this?
Why you want rock boat?
And I was shocked. The way you ask yourself, sure, why meaning? What is it that this very definitive issue is what you went to the president to be harassing him for? Many times when the president tries to take, let me say sometimes, so that it doesn't look like an exaggeration, even though exaggeration is a figure of speech. Sometimes when the president tries to take some very bold, very big decisions, you just hear that governors have visited him.
Of course.
You know how many times
you
just to push back. Don't do this now. Don't do this to us. Don't do this. But the law is clear. Read out the Constitution. Read what is in the Constitution. You have no business touching the funds of the councils.
Local governments. Yeah.
You have no business. So if somebody try to fix that situation by coming up with an executive order,
let the debate
why
continue.
Should you?
Let the debate continue. But, Mr. Governor, I'm wondering, as Jide popped the question, how many of them can speak that, the
way Wike spoke?
They should leave local government funds alone. Governors, leave local government funds alone.